Hey, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday. Today we're doing Regina Maria Roche for Inktober. My name is Kathy. Welcome to my stream. Every day I come on here, and for Inktober we are drawing a quote by a women's Gothic author from the 18th and 19th century. And right now I'm just going to go onto my YouTube to make sure that you guys can hear me, or that I'm live, I should say, because I don't know if anybody's here. so and it's very possible that I'm all by myself. So let me go to my channel really quickly. Like I always like to say, really quick. Can I hear me? Yes, I can hear me. I'm going to lower the music a little because it seems a little bit on the loud side. One moment. So, lower. Let's see if that's better. I also think that I need to put the mic near my face because it's like way over in the corner. Yay, here we are. Okay, let's listen now. Let's see how we're doing. Can we hear? Yay. Is there music? Okay, let's listen now. Let's see how we're doing. Can we hear? Yay. Is there music? Okay, let's listen now. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. All right. I think music level's good. I think it's good. And thank you for being patient. And I appreciate you so much for being patient. And am I perpetually late every day now? I think it's the change of the seasons. No, I know it's the change of the seasons. I know I've mentioned this before because I'm late every day these days, and I think it's because it's like winter time now. It's like the winter times, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I do love winter. Well, do I love winter? I don't know. I like the change of the seasons. Isn't that what we say? We say I like the change of the seasons, and that's why I'm here, because I like the change of the seasons, among other things. But you know, I could do without a lot of cold, and there's like cold all the time now. In fact, I'm wearing Under Armour right now. Oh, I wanted to show you how beautiful my coffee came out today. Look at that, and I got it up the stairs without even dripping it. There's this little tiny bit that collected right there. That's it. Let me have a sip. And then we're going to get to business here. So today we're doing Regina Maria Roche, and she was an Irish Gothic novelist. So this is a woman who did primarily, it was one of her primary genres to write in, because it's right here in Wikipedia. It's right here in the Wikipedia black and white and blue. She was an Irish Gothic novelist, best known for Children of the Abbey in 1796 and Claremont, 1798. I think Claremont was like her big, Gothic novel. She was born in 1764 and she died in 1845. So let's do the math. 65, that makes 35. So she was 35 plus 75. 75. Wait, 35 plus 45 is like 80. So she died when she was 80. Oh, that's a long life. Okay. Especially for somebody in the 1700s and excuse me, 1800s. Okay, let's do this. No Time Like the Present. Regina Maria Roche, 1764 to 17 March 1845. Hey, she died on St. Patrick's Day. Was an Irish Gothic novelist, best known for The Children of the Abbey in 1796 and Claremont, 1798. Encouraged by the success of the pioneering Anne Radcliffe, who was one of our days Anne Radcliffe was one of our days. And Anne Radcliffe's, we're constantly mentioning Anne Radcliffe because she's inspired a lot. The popularity of her third novel, Children of the Abbey, rivaled that of Anne Radcliffe's The Mysteries of Udolpho. That's big, because The Mysteries of Udolpho was huge, and was mentioned in Jane Austen's novel, Emma. Her life. She was born Regina Maria Dalton in Waterford, Ireland in 1764. Her father, Blundell Dalton, was a captain in the British 40th Regiment. British 40th Regiment. Her family moved to Dublin. After marrying Ambrose Roche in 1794, so she was 30 when she got married, she moved to England. Excusez-moi. Her first two novels were published under her maiden name before the success of The Children of the Abbey and Clermont. Both were translated into French and Spanish and went through several editions. However, after her fifth novel, The Nocturnal Visit, appeared in 1800, Roche suffered financial difficulties, having fallen afoul of a duplicitous solicitor. Ooh, she got robbed. Ooh, creepy. Very creepy. That sucks. She did not write again until 1807, when she received aid from the Royal Literary Fund. I wonder why she... I mean, I understand not wanting to write because you're depressed. Or not wanting to make art because you're depressed. But, or not wanting to, like, move forward in your career because you need to, like, take a hard stop and take a minute. I get that. I've done that. She then wrote 11 more novels, most of them set in rural Ireland. None of these matched her earlier successes. After her husband's death in 1829, she returned to Waterford. So, as we do, the dates. Okay, 1829, her husband died. 1829. So she was married for 36-ish years. And then her husband died. They're not telling us how he died. Okay. He probably died of, you know, old age, or maybe not old age, but maybe he got ill. After her husband's death in 1829, she returned to Waterford. After bouts of depression, Roche died in relative obscurity in her native town at age 81. The Gentleman's Magazine obituary calls her a distinguished writer who had retired from the world and the world had forgotten her. But many young hearts, now old, must remember the effect upon them of her graceful and touching compositions. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, crap. I just spilled coffee on my iPad. Darn. Well, that's for you, my dear. That's for you, Regina. I just gave Regina a sip of my coffee. Okay. Popularity. The Children of the Abbey, a sentimental Gothic romance, was one of the most popular novels of the 1790s. Her Clermont was Roche's only full attempt at writing a truly Gothic novel. It is decidedly darker in tone than anything else she wrote. I'll drink to that. Both novels went through several editions and were translated into French and Spanish. Clermont was one of the Northanger horrid novels satirized by Jane Austen in her novel Northanger Abbey. And so what did Taylor Swift recently say? She said, if you're talking about my album the first week it comes out, good or bad, that's good for me. So that's good for her. Right? Because, like, any news is good news when it comes to promoting your work, right? People will disagree on that, but, I mean, Jane Austen mentions your book in her book. Although I will say, as we now know, Jane Austen was not super well known when she was alive, and she struggled quite a bit financially, and she struggled in her getting her art published, getting her writing published, and we're not talking about Jane Austen today, but that's like quite had me shook, I have to say. I really related to Jane on several levels, and I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I really did not expect to feel a kinship to Jane in the way that I did when I read her biography the day before yesterday. If you are curious about Jane, 2 days ago, it's up. You can watch it on my streams tab or go to the Inktober playlist and you can see it there. Yeah. Okay. Biography. I mean, we don't need to read all this because we don't even know what this is, or I don't. I mean, yeah, we can learn what it is, but this is not going to tell me anything, and they're not clicky, except for those two. So, but let's click through to Claremont, because I want to see, was this her most popular, like, considered as a narrative in the Gothic genre? Okay, so this is like in the canon, right? This is like one of the blueprints. Considered as a narrative in the Gothic genre, the story follows the journey of the protagonist, Madeleine Claremont, whose peace is disturbed by the mystery surrounding the past. The novel encompasses many of the extremes of Gothic tropes, including foreboding spaces, secret horrors, and supposed supernatural sightings. There are also elements of romance in the novel that literary critics suggest Roche utilized to ensure that the narrative results in an overall happy ending. Well, that was a smart thing to do. I mean, do not all of the best have romance and like passion in them? Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. We're going to do Mary Shelley on the 31st. On Halloween, we're gonna do Mary Shelley. I can't wait to see the new movie. I'm really excited because I have to tell you, I have to be honest. I thought we were in for a ish show when I saw that trailer. I was like, no, I don't think so. And now after watching some YouTube movie reviews on Frankenstein, I'm pretty stoked to see it. And I'm stoked to see the Dracula that's coming out in 2026. Like, so excited for that one too. But, Frankenstein is imminent. So, very excited about that. Okay. So, does she need to have a movie made out of her books? Well, or out of Claremont anyway. Okay. Claremont also covers the concepts of female agency and virtue, with contemporary critics connoting its links to the female Gothic genre more specifically. I love this. It has its own little pocket in Wikipedia universe, female Gothic. While the narrative has been received by critics as confusing and lacking as an art form, cited as an imitation of Roche's counterpart Anne Radcliffe, Jane Austen's mention of the novel in Northanger Abbey as one of the 7 horror novels roused further attention towards Claremont and Roche's work, inviting readers and critics alike to reconsider its value as an 18th century Gothic text. I wanted to find Anne Radcliffe in my book here. There we go. Here's our Anne Radcliffe Day. There is something in the decay of nature that awakens thought, even in the most trifling mind. I like that lettering quite a bit. Anyway, okay. Enough about me and my art there. Let's finish reading here. Okay. Let me read that again real quick. Jane Austen's mention of the novel in Northanger Abbey as one of the 7 horrid novels roused further attention towards Claremont and Roche's work, inviting readers and critics alike to reconsider its value as an 18th century Gothic text. Indeed, the novel is considered as one of, quote unquote, the definitive texts of the Gothic novel craze during the 18th and 19th centuries, and interest in the narrative continues to broaden and extend to present day contexts. All right, great. So let's go to thank you. Thank you, dear Regina, for sharing with us. And fabulous Wikipedia for helping us out. Now let's go to some quotations by women. Actually, also, let's go to the page. Let's go to, yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's go to see what I have picked out here on our Regina Maria Roche Day. Oh my gosh. Honor is a term much used but little understood. This, I was actually completely separately from this. I picked this out the other day when I made this picture, this graphic, but I totally forgot what I had written down here. And then I went to quotations by women, and I was like, I think that's the one I want to do today. I think that's the one I want to do today. Honor is a term much used but little understood. I like it. I don't necessarily have a visual yet, but I do have a lot of reference material, and I can just sort of like see what I got here. Okay, what did my eye go to? Let me show you what my eye went to, and this is very apt. This is very apt for what we're doing. That's what my eye went to. My icon books that are Angel and Devil. So let's look for a little bit of imagery there, because it definitely fits in with the quote perfectly. Honor is a term much used but little understood. And I mean, my first thought, and this is totally not, even, I was thinking like hands or like a metal or something like, I don't know. I couldn't think of, nothing was jumping, right? Nothing was jumping out at me. But let's look at some of these pieces here. So this one is Devils, and it's very fitting. Honor is a term much used but little understood. Let's look at some angels. Okay, there's a lot of just like naked, a lot of naked little cherubs and stuff, which I don't want to put in my art, but I want to look for some other symbolism, some other imagery, some other motifs. What are we looking at? Okay, I'm liking the circular, like a sun type round. I like the idea of a round. I have a bunch of books on, actually, more than just these. I have, this one is good. I say it's good and I rarely use it. I rarely use this, but it's like a fun little pocket 1001 symbols. So it's good for like, right now. Why has this book been hiding on my shelf? I could have been using this all month. Because really these quotes for me are about like, what imagery is this bringing up immediately? And how can I work that in quickly to a quote art? You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's like a, well, obviously it's a creative exercise, but it's like an exercise in imagination and in like idea forming and like idea mining and in immediacy with that. So let's see. I got to keep this book out more. And so many times I've been like, should I get rid of this? Should I get rid of this? But you know what? It's great. It's such a cool little book full of just, full of iconographic, you know, symbolism. That is just, I love the dove. Okay. I like the dove. Maybe, I wonder if it has a, Index, it does. Let's look up the word honor. Let's look up the word honor and see if something's in here. Honor, honor, honor. Honor, honor, honor. Is there honor in here? FGH. Let's look up honor, honor. Honor. Nope. Nope. But that would be cool, right? Oh well, that's okay. Gotta put my glasses back on now. Now I have to put my glasses back on. So honor is a term much used but little understood. This is such a neat book, and I don't know why I don't use it more often. Okay. I'm feeling the dove. I'm kind of feeling the dove for honor. I don't know why. I don't know if the dove... A lion and a lamb. I don't really... I like that, but I'm not going to do that one. Let's go for it. Let's just go in, shall we? Let's just go in. Oh, let me show you real quick what I did yesterday. Please to observe that you submit reason and necessity without indulging useless complaint. I love this because it's like, in other words, please shut up and sit down. You know what I mean? Please take a seat. Please take a seat and stop talking. That's what that means. Okay. All right. I'm going to do like a really loose one today. Famous last words, but you know, let's do it, right? I'm going to just look up. I'm going to just get some dove imagery here because I want to. Dove. Go to images. All right. We got some doves here. Ooh, that's a pretty one, huh? Look at that. Pretty dove. Okay. Honor. Let's see. We have, as I usually do, I'm going to write down my quote separately so I don't forget it while I'm using my dove. Honor is a term much used but little understood. This paper that I tape onto my work surface, it's multitasking. Regina, Maria, Roche, 1800, nocturnal visit. Okay. Honor is a term much used but little understood. Let's do this. Let me go back to my dove. I really like that dove. I really like that beautiful dove that's... Let me show you. I just showed you, but I'm going to show you again. I really like that guy. That's really pretty. I'm going to do something like that, but it's going to be real abstract. Let me tell you guys a little story about a pain that I had in my chest while I do this. Okay. So I kept getting this little weird, like, burny kind of pain in my right part of my body, kind of like right at the top of my, at the top of my ribs, sort of, but like kind of like under my arm, like right under my boob kind of thing. And it feels like deep. And I'm like, what is this? And it comes and goes. And I was just like, this is, it was really starting to bother me. And it was making me uncomfortable in terms of like, First of all, it wasn't comfortable. Second of all, I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? Am I gonna have to go to the doctor and get an MRI and go to a specialist? I don't even know, like, I didn't think it was heart related at all. So I was just like, you know, it's just a pain, right? Who wants to go through a bunch of stuff? But, you know, obviously you have to take care of yourself, right? But I feel like I have good body awareness, and I couldn't really pinpoint. I mean, I thought it might be like my lungs or something, which made me really nervous. Like, but I don't like to get over. I've had so many things. Like, I don't like to jump to conclusions on things, because that's just a recipe that's just stupid, you know? You just don't do that. So I'm talking to Matt about it, and I'm like, you know, we're talking, and he's like, go to the doctor. So I'm going to make an appointment for the doctor. This is yesterday. And, you know, it's kind of dragging my feet a little bit, because I've had this pain before. But it's gone away, because I'm like, well, if I continued to have it, like, I would have, you know, I would have mentioned it to my doctor. I mean, you know, I'm a former smoker, like, from a long, long time ago. And, so, you know, I have to be on top of that. Although, I'm sort of like in the clear in terms of doctor wise, like talking about like screenings and stuff, because it's been so long since I quit that I'm fine in terms of, you know, like, what am I trying to say? I think you know what I'm trying to say in terms of, risks and stuff like that. So, okay. So let me make this long story short. I discovered I discovered where the pain was coming from, like why I was getting this pain. Do you want to know what it was? It was because on my computer chair and my work chair, the arm of my chair was like in the way, and I was twerking my body in a weird way. Like twerking my body in a weird way, not twerking my body in a weird way. I was twerking my body in an odd way that was giving me like muscle pains. And it didn't feel like muscle. It did not feel like muscle. It felt, but you know what it was? I think it was, I think the soreness was from, you know, your stabilizing muscles, the teeny tiny little muscles that are like around things, like they're around, you know, they're like, they wrap around different body parts and stuff, and they're not like a muscle that you talk about in an anatomy class or anything, but they're there, like they're muscle fibers. I think those little muscle fibers were getting super sore and freaking me out. Isn't that funny? So I got one of those Allen wrench things, like the gigantic ones that I had lying around, because I have like the strangest things lying around just in case. And I removed it, and I'm all the happier for it. I'm free. I'm now free of the pain. It's actually I'm still sore because it's been, you know, I've been having it for a while. So, but isn't that hilarious? How do we want to do like that? That's kind of cool. Kind of like that. I already did the circular one though, but this is kind of working. Although I have to say this looks a little religious to me, but that's okay, because it's about honor. So we're talking about something righteous, right? And you know, doves are associated with religion. with Christianity. Although I do not identify as a Christian. But that's okay, because they don't own doves. They don't own doves, right? You know what might be cool? I have this gigantic eraser brush thing that I got. My sister's a framer. I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? I said my sister's a framer. I think I garbled my words. And I stole this from her. Isn't that cool? I'm kidding. She gave it to me, but you know what it's really good for? And I don't feel like anybody needs to run out and buy one of these things. But they're very good for like getting dust off things, and they're very good for like if you're doing a big erasing job. Just get rid of your eraser dust with it. It's great. All right. I want to do more with the ink, but I have wetness now, so I can't. But I can write my quote. And we're just going to deal with if it bleeds. We're just going to deal with it. Honor is a term much used but little understood. Let's do it. Shall we? Honor. Isn't that beautiful? I love it when my pens do this. Oh my God. Is that lovely or what? Look at this. Look at that. I love it. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Give me some scrubby, dirty ink. I want scrubby, dirty ink. Ooh, I'm going to put some scrubby, dirty ink on my dove. Honor. Ooh, did I write honor too big? Of course not. Honor is a term much used but little understood. We're going to move to a smaller brush now because I just took up a lot of real estate with that. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee real quick. Oh, excuse me. Okay, honor is a term. Is this brush smaller? No, this is the bigger one. Is this brush smaller? This is the smaller one. Do I want to write? Yes, I do. You know why? Don't really want to introduce a new... I think I want to be a purist today. Honor. How am I going to do this? Is a term. Much used but little understood. I could do something down... I don't want to. But I'm kind of jammed up now. A little jammed. Honor. Ooh. Where's our ink flow here? Come on, baby. Honor is... I'm just going in. I'm telling you, this is going to look religious when it's done. And it just is. And I did not intend it to. But it's going to look like it's in a rectory. Like a poster. Except it's black. And if it was in a... It would probably be like blue and white or something. Much used. Much used. Is there a comma in this? Hold on. I need to discover if there's a comma in this. No. But little. We're just going with it because there's really no going back now. There ain't no going back now. Just sometimes you just got to commit to the bit. You know what I mean? I love that. That's one of my superpowers, commit to the bit. But for the first time yesterday, in yesterday's live. For the first time in this Inktober, I started a piece and I started a different page because I didn't like how it was coming out. I don't usually do that. I usually try and make it work regardless. I'll just work over my mistakes, you know, because, you know, that's just kind of something I believe in doing, honestly. But yesterday was, you know, I wasn't feeling working over the line I did. I did an initial line that I'll show it to you in a minute. When we're done with this, I'll show it to you. Okay, I'm really feeling the religious vibes with this. The unintentional vibes, religious vibes. Anybody else feeling it? Okay, there we go. Let's do a little. Honor is a term. I'm just decorating my letters a little bit. Much used, but little understood. Let me get you a little closer in there. How's that? Better? Okay, let's do, ooh, I wanted to get some more of that dirt, but I just made a, balance it off here a little bit. Okay, we're gonna put her name at the bottom. Hold on, let me do that. Okay, that, and then we're gonna put her name at the bottom. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. Regina Maria Roche, Nocturnal Visit, 1800. All right. I'm wondering, first of all, I need to write her name before I do any more little lines. Second of all, well, lines down here. I can still do lines up here. Okay. I need to figure out if I want to use another pen. No, I'm just going to go in with this. So, yeah, because I was going to maybe switch the pen out because brush pens require like a certain, you got to use them from a certain angle, and if you're going to do little text like this. I mean, anytime, actually. It's a different conversation for another day. I don't, I have talked about this like in so many other videos. The angle that you go in with your brush pen, and Roche, do I want to put Roche there? You know, it's really very specific, like the angle that you use, because you're always going to get a point or you're going to be fighting with the point. So it's like you're either working with the point or you're working against the point. And so whenever you're using your brush pen, whatever you're drawing with your brush pen, whatever you're drawing with it, and however you're planning to use it, you got to remember angle, and you got to remember, like, here's one way to think about it is you're never going to be able to make like a dot, like just a plain dot. Any dot you make with this is going to look like a little baby triangle. Like, it's going to, see, you can't, that's one way to remember what you're working with when you're using a brush pen. I don't know how effective that was for me to share with you, like, here, but I've explained it much better in other videos. I don't think I'm, like, prepared at the moment to talk very much. I'm not making words very good right now, but it's like, you have to consider all that when you're using your brush pen, because it's going to, you know, I've put it in different ways before. It's like a friend that is kind of rigid in certain respects in their personality, you know? It's like, you like your friend is great, your friend has a lot of great qualities, but you have to, you know, maybe there's certain things you don't talk about with your friend, or maybe there's maybe you only do certain things with your friend, you know, or whatever, you know what I mean? I mean, that actually, a lot of people is probably like that. Oh, you only go to museums or movies with this person or whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. I'm going to put the date here. I think we're okay in terms of balance. I'm not going to get too crazy about that today. 'Cause see this? So I could have done like a scroll or something, but maybe not. Should I? Should I do it? I could have done it up there. Honor is a term much used but little understood. Let's just keep going with these lines here. Let's do some, like, you know, just a little more, because, you know, I'm not switching gears now. That's not a good idea. We're almost done. We are almost done with this today. And I'm so proud because it's 10:54. I'm really getting better, you guys. I'm really getting better at sticking to an hour. And for anybody who's new, like right this moment, I did not make this look godly on purpose, like religious. It just came out that way. It was not intentional. It was not intentional. And I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But I didn't do it on purpose that way. I was just looking at it real quick and I'm like, wait a minute. That looks like, this dove looks like Jesus. What's going on here? And I know that doves are associated with Christianity. That's just because I was working with the word honor and I was looking in my 1001 Symbols book. And it's kind of like, okay, let's pretend this is a tarot deck. Let's just open it to a page. And that's what happened. And I'm like, ooh, dove. I like that idea. So that's what we went with today. And it ended up looking like a religious poster that you would find, you know, in a rectory or something. Okay. Here we are. This is what we got today. We have Regina Maria Roche, an Irish Gothic novelist, and this is her quote from her book Nocturnal Visit in 1800. Honor is a term much used but little understood. I hope you enjoyed this one today. And tomorrow we are back with Louisa May Alcott. Yes, She wrote Little Women. Did you know she also did some goth stuff too? She did, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. And we're going to read a little bit about her. And we're going to do what we did today, which is pull something out of a hat and just be like, okay, what imagery is coming up with this quote that is speaking to me? And how do I want to draw it? So this was today. I promised you I would show you one of the ones from yesterday. Okay, let's just look at a few, just to give you a little flavor. This was yesterday's quote, Eliza Parsons. I'm going to zoom you out a little bit, just so you can get a little yesterday's. And here was my boo-boo. Okay. I don't usually do this. I don't usually dump an idea, but I was like, I'm not afraid now. Let's do another angle. So I did this one. And translated into nowadays speak, this means take a seat and shut up. Pleased to observe that you submit reason and necessity without indulging useless complaint. I really like that for this. It's just like, just take a seat, please. Please just mouth, shut the mouth. That's what that means. We did Jane Austen. The person, be it gentleman or lady, who has not pleasure in a good novel, must be intolerably stupid. I love that. And I love Jane. I love Jane more now than I loved her before. Her story, I somehow never thought this would be. I somehow resonated with her story in several different little pockets of her life. And I love Jane. And this is Jane from Northanger Abbey. This was from Frances Harper. She actually wrote this in an obituary for J. Edwards Barnes, who I do not know who that is, but it was printed. It was published in the National Anti-Slavery Standard in 1858. And the poem is, "He is not dead. He only left a precious robe of clay behind to draw a robe of love and light around his disembodied mind," which I thought was a beautiful poem. Beautiful poem. And just beautifully written. I'm terrified of children. R.C. Ashby. I love this one. I love this one for potentially a poster, potentially a t-shirt. I always think of things in terms of t-shirt. It's just what I do because I love t-shirts. And I like to make t-shirts. And you can shop my t-shirts on my Etsy store, kathywellerart.etsy.com. And actually, one of these has actually already made it onto a t-shirt. I'll show you. Oh, this one's going to be, I think, and where are you? Ooh, that one's good. I like that one. That one's good. That one's good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. See? Make art every day. Make art every day, guys. Because you will look back and you will be like so proud of yourself. And you'll see like you don't just like you have to create the soil to create. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, my nose. It just, you can't just expect it to pop up, you know? The creativity. Anyway, okay. That's enough for today. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll be back at 12:30. At 12:30, I will be doing Night Garden Fairy Cats, which is my mixed media coloring book that I'm working on right now. And I'm almost done with it. I did 20 pages. They're all up on a playlist every single day. I went live with it every single day, much like we do here, live every single day, except the days that I have to cancel or postpone for whatever reason, which I think I've done that 2 times this month. But I will be back at 12:30, and I will be doing night garden fairy cats. If you like cats, if you like gardens, if you like fairies, if you like night. Did I say that? And if you like coloring, or just like doodling over other people's drawings, probably fun. Probably fun to do. The reason I like coloring books, well, I like anything that's going to make it an easy, like no barrier for entry or little barrier for entry into creativity. And so it's a much bigger story. And I'm talking about it here on my Inktober stream. Basically, I know you didn't come here for this, maybe, I don't know, but I like collaborating, right? I like the collaboration in a coloring book, because it's like you and the person who is coloring, the creative person who is coloring, or the artist who is coloring, if they identify as an artist or a creative person, it's like a collaboration between you two. And I recently decided to not publish my new books with KDP anymore. And I found my own production facility that I'm going to print my books with. And I'm going to use much nicer paper, so you can have more freedom with your artwork, with your materials that you want to use in it, and I'm exploring different methods. So like maybe potentially the lines will be colors or something like that. So it's just, I'm actually putting my first book into the production pretty soon. So I'm very excited about it. Anyway, join me at 12:30. I'll be drawing on my iPad in Procreate. And tomorrow I'll be back here at 10 o'clock a.m. and we'll be doing Louisa May Alcott, Little Women. Who knew she also did Gothic writing? Well, she did. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to pick a quote and we're going to draw one. And we're going to do it in 1 hour from 10 to 11 a.m. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow, I hope, and have an awesome day. Bye.